What's up, Bills Mafia? We're back at it with another exclusive scoop straight from Orchard Park, and you better believe this one has layers. Your Buffalo Bills are on a mission, constantly looking to improve, retool, and reload, all in pursuit of that long-awaited Super Bowl. It's NFL Draft Week, and with 10 picks in hand, the Bills have the assets to make some serious noise. But guess what? Waiting around at pick number 30 might not be in the plans. Brandon Beane is cooking, and there's talk of a bold move up the board, possibly all the way to pick number 1 with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that's not all. Off the field, things are heating up too, especially when it comes to James Cook, and a very public message from his big brother Dalvin Cook about wanting a payday. You can feel the tension building, and we've got it all covered. But before we jump in, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe if you love your Bills deep dives, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss a single beat of this. Draft weekend madness. Let's talk trades, running backs, and why this weekend could quietly reshape the future of the Buffalo Bills. The NFL draft is here, and most Bills fans probably expect Brandon Beane and company to sit tight at pick 30, but not so fast. According to Ryan Talbot of New York Upstate, the Bills have already picked up the phone and called the Pittsburgh Steelers about moving up to number 21. That's right, Mafia. The war room in Buffalo might be getting aggressive. Per Steelers beat reporter Nick Farabaugh, that conversation did happen. And while there's no confirmed deal on the table yet, this is a clear sign of intent from the Bills front office. So what's going on here? Talbot adds another wrinkle to this. Buffalo has reportedly given just 12 prospects a first-round grade. That means by the time they're on the clock at 30, all the players they truly covet might already be gone. If that's the case, then moving up is not just smart, it's necessary. We've seen Beane make these types of moves before. When the Bills locked onto their guy, whether it was Josh Allen, Tremaine Edmonds, or even Dalton Kincaid last year, they didn't wait around. They got aggressive. All right, so if the Bills are trying to jump from 30 to 21, the obvious question is, who are they targeting? Well, there are a few positions that could be in play. Wide receiver is the biggest need, especially after trading. Stephon Diggs to Houston. Guys like Brian Thomas Jr., Xavier Worthy, or Adonai Mitchell might not be there at 30, but they could be within reach at 21. Edge rusher is also a sneaky priority. If someone like Laiatu Latu or Jared Verse starts to slide, that's a spot Buffalo might want to jump into. And let's not forget cornerback. With Tre'Davious White gone, grabbing a top-tier cover guy like Cooper DeJean or Nate Wiggins could be on the radar. Beane isn't one to make reckless moves. If he's calling teams about trading up, it's because someone special is falling, and the Bills want to pounce before it's too late. So let's talk numbers for a second. The Bills have 10 total picks heading into this draft. That gives them flexibility to move up without completely gutting their depth-building options. To move from pick 30 to 21, Buffalo would likely need to part with one of their third or fourth round picks, depending on what other teams are offering. It's a manageable price if the guy you're drafting becomes a core piece for the next 5 years. Think about it this way. Last year, Beane gave up a fourth rounder to jump up 2 spots for Dalton Kincaid. If he thinks the 2024 version of Kincaid is within reach at 21, expect him to pull the trigger. Now let's shift gears to a brewing off-field situation that could quietly shake up the Bills' offensive plans. James Cook's contract status, and more specifically, his brother Dalvin Cook's social media bombshell. Dalvin Cook recently posted a clear and loud message on X, $20 million without much context. But it doesn't take a detective to put the pieces together. James Cook hasn't shown up for voluntary team workouts, and Dalvin's post seems to be a not-so-subtle campaign for his younger brother to get paid. This move is interesting on a few levels. James Cook still has 1 year left on his rookie deal, and he was the team's leading rusher in 2024. The Bills have handed out multiple extensions already this offseason, even re-signing guys they previously cut. And yet Cook remains unsigned beyond 2025, so is this just standard business? Or are we looking at the early stages of a contract standoff? Let's not forget Dalvin Cook's no stranger to contract drama. Back in 2020, while still with the Minnesota Vikings, he threatened to sit out off-season work unless he got a new deal. Guess what? A few months later, the Vikings gave him $63 million. Dalvin's involvement here isn't just brotherly love. is strategic. He's trying to steer James toward a payday while Buffalo still has the flexibility to make it happen. But the timing? Oh, it's not a coincidence. The NFL draft is here, and the Bills are in the spotlight. The message is clear. Pay the man or prepare to move on. So now we ask, how will Buffalo respond? They've already added rookie Ray Davis and brought in veterans Ty Johnson and Darrynton Evans. On paper, the running back room looks full. But let's be real. If the Bills draft another running back this weekend, it will be a clear message. They're getting ready for life after James Cook. Would that be the right move? Depends on how you feel about giving running backs second contracts. Some fans see it as a money grab. Others know how short these careers are and support players fighting for their value. One thing's for sure, this just got personal. Business meets loyalty, and the lines are blurring after yet another heartbreaking playoff exit at the hands of Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. The Buffalo Bills knew something had to change. Sure, Josh Allen has carried this franchise on his back, with his arm, his legs, and his heart. But the one thing he's been missing at times, a reliable, explosive, deep threat who can stretch the field. So what did Brandon Beane and the front office do? They went out and got aggressive. While the signing of edge rusher Joey Bosa made waves on the defensive side, the offense wasn't forgotten. Enter Josh Palmer, the speedy wide receiver who spent the last 4 seasons with the Los Angeles Chargers. Palmer signed a 3-year deal with Buffalo, and folks, this isn't just a depth move. This is a guy with serious upside. And Josh Allen? He's already fired up. In a recent interview, Allen didn't hold back on his excitement. Very excited, Allen said. Excited to get to throw with him here pretty soon. Very fluid. And his roots. He creates a lot of separation, and there's a lot of advanced stats that show that. Seems like a great guy. He's a Toronto kid too, so I know that he's got a big following here. And for him to be closer to family, I know that's always a plus. But so far, just being around him, he's got a great personality. He's going to fit in that receiver room just great. That chemistry, or at least the early signs of it, is something Bills fans should be keeping a close eye on. We've seen Allen build dynamic connections before. Stephon Diggs was an instant impact. Gabe Davis had flashes. Now, with Palmer in town, this feels like a fresh start for the next version of the Bills offense. Let's break down what Palmer brings to the table. Coming out of Tennessee in 2021, Palmer was a 3rd-round pick who carved out a solid role in LA despite playing behind stars like Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. Even as the 3rd option, he delivered. Over the last 3 seasons, Palmer has topped 500 yards each year. And in 2024, he hit a career-high 15.0 yards per reception. That number alone tells the story. This guy can fly. Palmer is smooth, technical, and efficient in his routes. He's not just a burner, he's a calculated separator who knows how to find the soft spots in a zone and beat man coverage downfield. And now he gets to work with a quarterback who throws one of the best deep balls in the league. So where does Palmer slot in? Well, the wide receiver room is undergoing a transformation. With Stephon Diggs now in Houston, it's open season at the top of the depth chart. Right now, we're looking at Khalil Shakir. Mr. Reliable in the slot showed serious growth last season. Keon Coleman, the rookie big-body target with upside Curtis Samuel. Versatile gadget guy, shifty and dangerous in space. And now Josh Palmer, the deep threat with route running polish. What's exciting here is that each receiver brings something unique to the table. Palmer doesn't have to be Diggs. He just needs to be Palmer at full capacity. If he clicks with Allen early, he could realistically be $1 in this new look offense. Let's talk scheme for a second. In 2024, the Bills offense started to go a little horizontal. More short stuff, quick reads on yards after catch. That's fine, but when you got a cannon like Josh Allen, you want to unleash the vertical game. That's where Palmer comes in. The guy averaged 15.0 yards per catch last year. That's not by accident. He knows how to get open deep, and he tracks the ball like a pro. You give Josh Allen a guy who can consistently get behind defenders, and all of a sudden, defensive coordinators can't cheat up anymore. Safeties have to stay honest. The box lightens up. The run game opens. And the entire offense breathes. This is a move designed to unlock the deep ball again. And for Bills fans, that should be music to your ears. Of course, speed alone isn't enough. This is the NFL. You need chemistry, timing, trust. That's why Allen is already talking about throwing sessions with Palmer. The goal: build that rapport early so that by week 1 they're already in sync. We saw how long it took Diggs and Allen to hit their stride. About 1 practice. Okay, maybe a few more, but it was fast. If Palmer can get on that same page quickly, don't be surprised if he starts the season as Allen's go-to on play action. Shots and deep crossers. This isn't just about adding a fast guy. This is about evolving the offense. The Bills know the window is now. Allen is in his prime. The defense has new blood, and the AFC isn't getting any easier. You've got Mahomes and KC Burrows coming back healthy. Lamar just won MVP, and now there's Houston and CJ Stroud lurking too. If the Bills want to stay in the elite tier, they need weapons. They need mismatches. They need guys who force defenses to make hard choices. Palmer helps check that box. So, Bills Mafia, let's wrap this up. We've got Brandon Beane working the phones trying to trade up to pick number 21, potentially eyeing one of the last true first-round talents on their board. And while the front office works draft magic, James Cook's contract status quietly simmers in the background, stirred up by Dalvin's public pressure campaign. Both storylines point to one thing: Buffalo is at a crossroads. Do they double down on their current core, or do they shake things up and plan for a new generation? Either way, this weekend is going to reveal a lot about what this team values, who they're building around, and how bold they're willing to be. All right, Bills Mafia, we want to hear from you now. Should the Bills trade up to pick 21? And if so, who should they target? Do you think James Cook deserves a big extension, or should the team stay disciplined and draft his replacement? What message is Dalvin really sending? And do you think it helps or hurts the situation? Drop your takes in the comments. We're going to be highlighting some of the best ones in our next video. And don't forget, smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on those notifications so you're locked in for all our Bills draft weekend coverage. This is your team. This is your community. This is Bills football. Let's go get it. Go Bills.